What's good, YouTube? It's your boy P Money. Heat get a 118-108 victory over the Portland Trailblazers tonight at the Moda Center. Let's go over all the team stats. The Heat shoot 45 of 83 for 54% from the field. They go 7 of 22 for 32% from three-point land. They go 21 of 25 for 84% from the foul line. They get 18 assists on their 45 made baskets. They pull down 46 boards, have 8 offensive rebounds, 11 steals, 7 blocks, and 12 turnovers. For the Blazers, they shoot 42 of 93 for 45%. They go 15 of 19 for 39% from 3. They only shoot 12 free throws and make 9 of them for 75. They get the magic number of 30 assists. They get 33 rebounds, 7 offensive rebounds. They go for 6 steals. They have 2 blocks and 11 turnovers. For individual stats, for the Heat, Hassan Whiteside went off. He finishes up with 28 points on 11 of 12 shooting. He shoots 6 of 7 from the foul line. He goes for a plus 14. He pulls down 3 offensive rebounds, has 10 total. He only has 1 turnover. He grabs 4 steals and 2 blocks. So huge game from Hassan Whiteside, and he just continues his dominance against the Portland Trailblazers. Richardson goes for 18 on 6 of 9 shooting. He shoots 1 of 2 from 3, shoots 5 of 6 from the free throw line, finishes up with a plus 4. He pulls down 4 boards, grabs or dishes out 2 assists, and gets 2 steals. Winslow finished up with 10 points on 4 of 4 shooting, 1 of 6 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, finishes up with a plus 17 for a team high. He gets 6 rebounds, 5 assists, has 3 turnovers. Then we got Olynyk. He finishes up with 7 on 2 of 5 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3, has 2 free throws, makes both, finishes up with a plus 9. He pulls down 2 offensive rebounds, has 4 total. He dishes out 2 assists, has 3 turnovers, and he has a steal. We have Johnson. He finished up with 4 points on 2 of 7 shooting. He went 0 of 4 from 3. Didn't take any free throws. Finished up with a plus 13. Had a rebound, 2 assists, a turnover, and a block. D Wade in his final game in the Moda Center goes off for 22 points off the bench on 9 of 17 shooting. Went 4 of 4 from the foul line. Finished up with a negative 6. He pulled down 2 offensive rebounds, had 9 total, dished out 3 assists, had a turnover, and a block. And it was a huge third quarter for D Wade, and it was great to see. Like, even though Blazers ended up losing this game, the way D Wade played in his final game at the Moda Center is just what you want to see whenever you have a superstar type player in his final season. Just have these types of games every once in a while. So for him to have that type of game against the Blazers, although he's an opponent, he's always been a guy that I admired as growing up. And it's going to be crazy to see him go, but it is what it is. He's 37 now. Definitely ain't the same player. Got James Johnson. He finished up with 15 on 6 of 11 shooting. He went 1 of 3 from the three-point land. He finished up with 2 of 2 from the foul line. He had plus 6. He pulled down 6 boards, dished out 3 assists, had 2 turnovers, got 2 steals and 3 blocks. So huge game from James Johnson. He was all over the place. Dion Waiters had 9 points on 3 of 5 shooting, all 3 makes from three-point land. Finished up with a negative 3. Had a rebound, an assist, a turnover, and a steal. Adebayo finished up with 5 points on 2 of 3. He went 1 of 2 from the foul line. finished up with a -6. He pulled down 1 offensive rebound, had 4 total rebounds, and he also had a steal. For the Blazers, CJ McCollum led the way with 33 points on 13 of 25 shooting. He went 7 of 14 from 3, finished up with a -6, had 1 offensive rebound, pulled down 5 total. He dished out 2 assists, had 2 turnovers, and a steal. Dame Lillard did what he could, but only ended up with 13 points. He finished up on 5 of 15 shooting from the field, 2 of 10 from 3, 1 of 2 from the foul line. Finished up with a -16, pulled down 3 boards, dished out 10 assists, had 4 turnovers, and a steal. So double-double, but just not enough from Dame Lillard. He kind of looked tired, but no excuses. He was out on the court, so gotta get the dubs if you can get them. Big Nurkic did not have a good game. He allowed Whiteside to do whatever he wanted, get to his spots. Didn't seem like he was super engaged. His emotions got the best of him a little bit. He ended up finishing with 8 points on 2 of 7 shooting. He didn't take any threes, went 4 of 4 from the foul line. Finished up with a -9. He pulled down 3 offensive rebounds, had 5 total. He dished out 6 assists, had 2 turnovers, and he got a steal. So he was doing everything else. He just wasn't really scoring and rebounding as well as he normally does. Al-Farouq Aminu finished up with 5 points on 2 of 4 shooting. He went 1 of 1 from 3. Didn't take any free throws. Finished up with a -6. He pulled down a board, had an assist. Mo Harkless, he finished up with 3 points on 1 of 1 shooting. Went 1 of 2 from the foul line. Finished up with a -10. He ended up only playing 16 minutes. He pulled down 2 boards, had a steal, and 2 blocks. Jake Layman led the way off the bench with 25 on 11 of 17 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 1 of 1 from the foul line, finished up with a -4. He pulled down 2 offensive rebounds, grabbed 8 total. He also dished out 2 assists, didn't have any turnovers, had a steal, and no blocks. Let me see. Evan Turner finished up with 7 points on 3 of 9 shooting. He went 0 of 1 from 3, went 1 of 1 from the foul line, finished up with a -3. He pulled down a board, dished out 4 assists, had 2 turnovers, and a steal. And Myers Leonard finished up with 7 on 2 of 7 shooting, went 2 of 6 from 3, 1 of 2 from the foul line, finished up with a +1. He grabbed 1 offensive rebound, had 6 total, and dished out 3 assists. Seth Curry finished up with 7 points on 3 of 7 shooting, went 1 of 2 from 3, finished up with a +4. He pulled down a board and dished out an assist. And Zach Collins finished out. He ended up taking 1 shot and missing it. He finished up with a -1. He pulled down a board, grabbed it, dished out an assist, and had a turnover. And for the game notes tonight, it was pretty much the Whiteside and Wade show with a little bit of Richardson, especially in the first half. I think he went 6 of 6 for like 12 points or 13 points, something like that. And the Heat just ended up with 5 players in double figures. Blazers only had 3. Heat's energy and defense, man, they were big. And Portland kind of was a little bit feeling themselves, I thought, especially coming out, because they've been in some big games, won some big games, especially at home. And I guess they thought the Heat would be easy work tonight, and they found out that you just got to come in and play all the time. Can't be thinking that these certain teams aren't going to be, ready to play and not going to come and compete, because the Heat always compete. Dame, way off. Ended up shooting 10 3-pointers, only making 2. Shot 15 shots total. Just wasn't his night tonight. That ended up snapping our 8-game home winning streak on a On a high note, Jake Layman goes for a career high 25, and it's looking more and more like Mo Harkless might be the odd man out of the rotation, especially since we made that move for Rodney Hood. And once he gets up to speed, hopefully here soon, it's going to be very tough for a guy like Harkless to get up on the court. And I can't really be upset about it. Like I was saying before about Nurk, he kind of needs to keep his emotions a little bit more in check. He was kind of letting Whiteside get to his spots a little bit easier than normal because I guess he was hoping that the refs would give him some calls, and it just wasn't happening for him today. But vintage D Wade, especially in that third quarter, I think he ended up with 8 points on like 4 or 5 shooting. So big night from D Wade. And like I was saying before, I always was a fan of how D Wade played the game. You know, he was just always the type of guy that gave you 110% at all times, especially early in his career. And that's what probably is making him retire now, all the wear and tear on his body. But can't do anything but appreciate a guy like D Wade and what he's done for the NBA. Next up for the Blazers, they got the San Antonio Spurs at home, so we definitely need that game because San Antonio's right there behind us. They're tied for 5th right now with Houston, so we definitely need that game to keep on pace, you know, stay in that 4th seed. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, Heat went plus 13 on rebounds. Not gonna get it done, but all those extra possessions that the Heat were getting, they were getting to the foul line way more than the Blazers. Blazers ended up with they were plus 13 on that too, so definitely not the way to win. But it's all good. Win some, you lose some. Can't really complain too much. They did try to they fought back and cut it to 1 a few times and ended up just not being able to convert to take that lead and gain all the momentum. But I'm sure they'll take this one into the San Antonio game and make sure that they don't take the team lightly, especially San Antonio, because they are a playoff team, especially in the West, and we definitely got to get that win. Ain't no doubt about it right now, because the West is insane right now as far as teams. Like the Lakers are still in playoff contention. You got Sacramento, they're in playoff contention, even though they're out of the playoffs right now. So you just can't get too complacent right now in the West, because teams will creep up on you and all of a sudden you ain't even in the playoffs anymore. So definitely looking forward to that San Antonio game. Get to see LaMarcus Aldridge again against Big Nurk. I like that matchup, even though I'm sure LMA will get his shine a little bit. But that's all I got. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe.